Very happy morning to all of you. This is Money Sans, and today our topic of discussion is flipped classroom. We all know that we are living in a technological world. Today's scenario of COVID 19 has made us learn many things. We all have become tech savvy. Everything around us is getting modernized and changing, and so as our teaching patterns. And that should be also because we teachers needs to be updated in order to update our kids. If we want our students to stand somewhere in the world, we need to update them. Flipped classroom is also one of those techniques. We all have learned from the traditional methods of teaching, but now everything has changed. Flipped classroom. Now, what is it? Flipped classroom is a teaching strategy that reverses the traditional learning environment by delivering instructional content outside of the classroom. It just gives an open environment for the thinking of a child to fly high. It moves activities like projects, assignments, homeworks, etc. into the class. Now, the teaching hasn't been confined only to the books, only to the textual knowledge. Now, it is open to the environment, to the surrounding. There are four main pillars of a flipped classroom. Each letter of the flip in flipped classroom represent its four pillars. So let's have a look on each of them. First is F, that is flexible environment. Now, teacher in the classroom need to create a flexible learning environment by providing opportunities for the students to choose when and where they want to learn. Now, the learning is not confined between the four walls of a class. Second is L, that is learning culture. In flipped model, class time is shifting to discuss more in depth about each topic. Moreover, flipped classroom changes the traditional learning culture into the learner-centered class. Now we have to think that what our student want from us. What is their level of learning? We have to reach there and we have to then teach according to the student. Third is intentional content. It means that in the flipped model, the teachers determine what they need to teach and what material students should handle on their own. Means activity oriented class. And fourth, yes, P. P stands for professional educators. Now, professional educators' role is even more important in flipped classroom than in the traditional one. The flipped model needs instructors who can observe, provide timely feedback, and even the self-assessment. And this is something which a professional educator only can do. So you can see how the learning environment is getting changed. So we have many advantages also of this flipped classroom, which makes flipped classroom a better classroom than the traditional one that we used to have. In this, students take the ownership for learning. They themselves come forward to learn something new. It promotes student-centered learning and collaboration. The lessons and contents are now more accessible, more understandable to the kids. It emphasizes on cooperative learning, which also tells them the basic need of their common life, cooperation. It gives more time to explore the content. And of course, because of all of this, it can be more efficient. So, in this way, a flipped classroom is a very advantageous. It is completely different from the traditional classroom. In traditional classroom, there was nothing with the kids before the classroom. But in flipped classroom, students do the reading. They watch the lecture. They just search out everything, whatever they are going to learn. And during the class, they just watch how their professor is delivering, what contents are being covered, which may involve the range of activities, discussions, center teaching, all these things. And after the class, which is the most important thing. In a traditional classroom, what was there? This teacher needs to give some homework which the student used to do at home. But in flipped classroom, students further consolidate their understanding and they prepare themselves for the next class, which makes them connected. Okay? So, in this way, flipped classroom is a better way of teaching than the traditional way of teaching. So, that's all from my side. Thank you. I hope that you all have enjoyed and understood that what is meant by flipped classroom. So, thank you so much. Have a nice day.